did the Cardone deal, right?
Maybe.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I understand.
Oh, and make sure you watch the whole video so you can see the clips that I just referenced. But first, let's get into the topic of what Grant posted and some insights. Holy smokies, guys, I think Grant Cardone has changed his tune because of the videos that I've been making.
What would 19-year-old Grant Cardone do? Those are too big when you're getting started. I'm gonna find a little single family house and flip it.
See, here's the thing. I want to first of all start with saying that I really appreciate the way Grant Cardone handles the fact that I make videos talking and adding perspective about things that he does. And look, I know a lot of you might be thinking, wait a minute, you just put Grant Cardone's name in the title to get more views. And guess what? That's true. Because look, the very first videos that I made on YouTube for the last 6 years got no views. They were just clients who watched my videos or potential clients. That's it. And I gave the same perspective, the same information that I always do. Yet it wasn't until November of last year that I made a video, what so-and-so isn't telling you. And that video, all of a sudden I came back and I had like 450 subscribers. It was like, oh my gosh, just because I put their name in the title. Now, mad respect to that person because they just called me and said, hey, could you revise the title a little bit? And it was a very respectful video, just sort of adding perspective on what they were saying. Well, generally, I do the same thing with Grant Cardone. And what I think is, I actually think Grant Cardone, I mean, it's never gonna happen, so don't think I'm delusional in thinking this, but I actually think Grant and I, in theory, would make amazing partners because my vision is helping people get started with the fundamentals and principles of understanding real estate. This is what I teach in my real estate investing course. And I also now teach that in my real estate sales course where we have private live streams and I analyze your marketing, your deals, and help you specifically solve your things. And it's not that expensive either. But anyway, I really think we would make great partners, and I'm about to talk about this change, but we would make great partners because if you think about it, if I teach fundamentals and principles in a highly detailed way and teach people how to be sort of millionaire real estate investors, now all of a sudden you could transition into bigger deals, which I do talk about bigger deals as well, but obviously Grant Cardone has a fund on bigger deals, and you could, in theory, invest with Grant Cardone after sort of making a lot of money with smaller deals. And so I'm gonna play some clips from Grant Cardone's latest video, and to me it's a sign that he's realizing, oh my gosh, Kevin's right, and I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, that if people made money with small deals, then they can invest in the larger deals later. Now, obviously, I really respect Grant for not suing me, bro. I actually met him a couple months ago at the Driven event, and understandably, I met Ryan, Elena, and Grant. You know, I met them there. Understandably, I'm not necessarily their most favorite person or their MVP, but they very respectfully did take the time to talk to me, and I really appreciated that. So in saying that, I think it's important for me to keep a positive outlook on other people's perspectives. And again, that's always my goal, is to share my opinions, my experiences with you so that you can learn more. So let's get into some parts of Grant's latest video here where he says, what would he do if he were just out of college? Well, what he's suggesting you do is A, exactly what I teach, and B, exactly what I did. And I actually did this while I was in college, not when I got out of college, but basically start buying real estate.
I would buy real estate.
Grant suggests that, look, you can buy a single family house with $3,000 down.
I bought a single family home with $3,000 down. Anybody, no matter who you are, because I was broke at the time, can find $3 grand.
Flip it, build equity, and that's exactly what I suggest. Now, I never suggest over leverage. I do take a little bit of the Dave Ramsey mindset where I say, hey, it is good to be conservative with debt and not over leverage. But here are some really important principles, and Grant hit on some of these here. Keep the job you have. In fact, so many people say, I want to get rich with real estate. People DM me on Instagram, which do follow me there. I reply to almost everybody. And they say, hey, how can I have a Tesla like you have? How do I get rich with real estate? And to me, the very first thing is keep the job you have and instead motivate yourself by keeping that job and saying that I'm gonna milk this job dry to the bone and I'm gonna dump everything into real estate. I'm gonna buy good deals, wedge properties, which Grant has adopted that phrase too. He calls it disparity sometimes though, but he's referenced the wedge.
Means the difference between two things. Okay, it's the what the brokers call the wedge.
Instead of talking down the small deals where people have leverage, 5 to 20% down in 1 to 4 real estate, and the wedge opportunities in small deals, which sounds really familiar, by the way.
and rehab these properties, build equity in them. Now, I disagree with some things that Grant says, like in smaller deals, banks do not look at the cash flow.
Go back to the bank, and then based on the new cash flow of the property, I'm gonna get a loan on it.
That is a Grant Cardone big deal mindset that banks are interested in cash flow. But that misses the point of where you can make the most money in small real estate. Where you make the most money in smaller deal real estate is taking advantage of specific loan programs I talk about daily in the course, but basically conventional 30-year fixed rate financing where you can qualify for properties yourself, not with the cash flow. The cash flow matters very, very little. You have to qualify. And I teach you how you can qualify for these loans and how to make sure you have your sort of financial ship in order so that you can always qualify for these loans and qualify for the loans on even fixer-upper properties. Because a lot of people are like, well, Kevin, if I'm gonna buy a fixer-upper, how do I get financing on it? It's what I go into a lot of detail on because I've done it. I get financing on fixer-uppers, not because of the cash flow, but because of the deals that I get. If you're gonna get cash flow oriented financing, then you're usually stuck with, in my opinion, pretty crappy loans, like 70-year adjustable rate mortgages with balloon payments, commercial style financing. People think, oh, I gotta get into the big deals, I gotta have commercial financing. Commercial financing sucks balls. So Grant also goes on to talking about single family, how to flip it with no money down. Folks, this is what I did. I bought my first house with 3.5% down of foreclosure. I talk about this stuff. But I really love this because to me, it's a sign, hey, you know what? Grant is warming up. And although, look, a partnership is never gonna happen. I'd be dreaming. I mean, come on, like I've made a lot of videos here, but it really goes to show that he's realizing that, oh my gosh, you know, there's a whole generation of people that would like to start in real estate and don't know how to. And starting with the big deal, starting with 32 units, ain't gonna happen, man. So, folks, hopefully you appreciate this sort of insight and the perspective I share. I cannot wait to share more content with you folks. And hey, as I continue to share perspective, don't sue me, bro, and stay tuned next week because we're gonna be doing a whole lot more videos on market updates and really how to start making money. I cannot wait. Thanks so much. Okay, folks, the moment you've been waiting for, let's play some clips and see what Grant's staff had to say when I ran into them. First up, Captain Ryan.
Ryan? Hey, buddy. What's up, man?
Good to see you, man. Yeah, I know your question. I remember your face. You did the Cardone deal, right?
Maybe.
Yeah, well, I get it, right? I mean, I get it, what you're going, you know, it's the 4-8 flexes. I did what you did. Like, I understand, and you got actually a lot of views on that. I mean, good job. Like the way Grant and I actually said, we're like, this guy's actually good. We didn't like the message because I had an investor call me. One investor called me. He's like, what are your fees?
All right, then I asked Elena for a selfie, and well, guess I don't blame her. She denied me. This was a total fluke. I was leaving the event after having just talked to Ty Lopez and Tim Grover, Brad Lee, and some other people, and then I happened to stumble upon Grant outside. So, what do? I went right up to him.
I don't mean it personally.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I understand.
I think
Dude, everybody's trying to get to a piece. You got to figure out how you're going to get it, you know?
Yeah,
So,
I get that.
you know?
Thank you. You started out with a small deal, right? But it didn't work out. You mentioned that, the house. So
Yeah.
off camera, I'm not gonna
Yeah.
Now I did cut the recording here because I said off camera and wanted to start asking him some questions, and in all fairness, if I say it's gonna be off camera, I'm gonna do it. But anyway, hope you like that. Subscribe and check out the courses below so you can get that real estate wealth in your pocket.